Greetings and welcome to my channel, Act 2 Life After 50. If you haven't visited before, my name is Brene Bradley. I'm a life, health, and wellness coach. Today our topic is living your best life now. And I just want to say out there to my mature sisters that there is no better time than now to live our best life. So before we get into the actual content for today, I would like to ask you to please do a like for the video. Just go ahead and do it now so you won't forget when you get to the end. And so that's the little thumbs up. Share, subscribe. If you watch YouTube videos, you know what the deal is on this. It just helps to get the word out about the content that we offer specifically for mature women. So thank you very much for that in advance. So I want to just talk a little bit about the importance of living your life now. And I have a little story I want to share with you that's actually a fact. So my dear, wonderful mother went on to be with the Lord at a very early age of 67 years old. She was an incredibly devoted mother, back from the old school where women didn't really work outside the home. She was dedicated to her children. Every time the school doors opened, she was there. We lived around the corner from the school. She brought us our lunch sometimes. She would go get some of our favorite food for lunch and bring it to us. She kept the home, she cooked, she did all of those wonderful things for her children and her husband. She was married to my wonderful father at the time. And she took care of us until we kind of grew up and were teenagers. And then her mother got sick. She helped take care of her mother. Then years later, my oldest brother, who was my half brother, not her biological son, but he got very, very sick. She helped to take care of him. And then some years later, my father, who was older than her, got sick and very sick that she had to pretty much disabled in the latter years of his life. And she had to take care of him. And she spent all of her life taking care of everyone else. But after my father passed away, my mother wanted to do things. She wanted to explore other things. She wanted to travel and visit and do some things, but she never did. She never did. I know one of the things that she said she wanted to do was to go to the Grand Canyon. And that would not have been hard to do because we lived in California and the Grand Canyon's only, 5, 6, 7 hours away by car. So she could have done that. She had the money to do it. But there was just something in her mind, in her psyche, in her heart that made it hard for her to do things for herself, things that she wanted to do that didn't involve doing what other people wanted to do. Well, unfortunately, one day I got a call saying my mother had a terminal disease, and in about 5 months she was gone. And I always reflected back on the fact that my mother could have done some of the things she wanted to do in life, and she chose to serve everyone else. Now, service is great, but to be honest with you, it is a good thing to fully live the life that we have. So I just want to encourage all the women out there who are still taking care of everybody else, grown kids, grandkids, and all that. That's all good, but do not forsake taking care of yourself and doing some of the things that you want to do. That's what I'm doing in my retirement. I'm not retired. I'm doing life coaching now because that's something that I want to do. And I travel and I golf as much as I can because those are things that I want to do. And I want to live the rest of my life enjoying absolutely every moment that I can. So I have just a couple of suggestions that you consider, and I'm going to read them to make sure that I don't forget. But anyway, a couple of things that you can do to kind of get a kickstart if you're not used to doing things for yourself. Make yourself a bucket list of the things that you would really like to do, be they small or large, be they inexpensive or very expensive. Just make yourself a bucket list and then start doing those things on that list. Be selfish. Sometimes we think it's so bad to be selfish. No, at this point in our lives, Be selfish. Do those things that you want to do. Don't worry about what everybody else wants to do. Don't worry if somebody else wants to do it with you. You can actually find other people. You can go online and find groups of people who like to travel. You can take cooking classes if you always wanted to learn how to cook, like Asian fusion food. If you wanted to learn how to paint, do art, sew, knit, crochet, whatever it is that you always in the back, sing, whatever it is in the back of your mind that you always kind of wanted to do, don't put it off. Make that bucket list and start checking those things off. My suggestion is you start with the thing that you can do the quickest, the least expensive if money is an issue, but just go through and start saying, I'm going to do these things. And I do want to say that's really important. Do not wait for other people in your circle to do them with you. Trust me, you will never get to do anything if you wait around for other people to want to jump on your bandwagon with you. Find other people that have that similar interest. I do a lot of things with an app called Meetup. You may have heard of it, but look into it. It's where people get together to do things that they have a similar interest in. Another thing I would say is take self-care days. Now, getting a pedicure and a manicure and getting your hair done is not all there is to self-care. There's spiritual self-care, physical self-care, emotional self-care, but it's also good to just have those R&R days, relax and cool out days where maybe once a month, if you can, once a week, where it's a day or a few hours just for you to do whatever the heck you want to do. Even if it's just kind of like take a nap, if that's what you want to do during your time, just make sure that you carve out some regular, specific, intentional time for you, some self-care time. And again, if money is a factor, I have a couple of videos on saving money and making extra money. Check out those videos, but make sure that you spend your time and talent taking care of you. There's a saying that I always like to repeat, and when you get on an airplane, the first thing they tell you is when they give you the safety precautions. They tell you about the mask that comes on that will pump in oxygen if there is a pressurized situation on the plane. And they always tell you to put your mask on first before you attempt to help anybody else. Because if you half dead, you cannot help anyone. So make sure you have some self-care days in your regular schedule for yourself. And the last thing that I want to touch on is your physical health. So I'm a life, health, and wellness coach, and I know how important it is to take care of your physical body. There are so many of us that allow our health to suffer, and we just end up in a situation where we are disabled in some way, or we have chronic aches and pains that limit our ability to enjoy our lives. So I want to tell you right now to just go to the doctor, get a complete physical. If you haven't done that, hopefully we're all doing that. We're getting all of our annual checkups. Get your lab work. Learn to look at the lab work yourself so that you can see what's going on with your body. Don't rely just on your doctors. Trust me, they got a bunch of people. They're not thinking about you. As soon as you walk out that door, it's up to you to take care of your physical health. And if you need some help with that, there are some life, health, and wellness coaches out there that can help you. So that's all I have for today. I hope you found some kind of encouragement in this. And just like I said, the very last word I want to leave you with is live your best life now. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.